thing. But if you're falling short of words, what is the use of learning that vocab? So now what is that one mistake that you are actually making? That mistake is you're trying to memorize the words, okay? Do not memorize the words. That's what I would say. Do not memorize the words. Do not memorize the words. You should never memorize the words. Now this video is gonna have some steps, and I'm going to tell you what you do wrong, what you don't have to do, and what are the right steps. If you don't have to memorize, then what do you need to do in order to enhance your vocabulary? That's the big question. Do not worry, every question is going to get answered in this particular video, and you are going to know that one trick through which you can learn your vocabulary in a really enhancing way. Okay, number one thing is do not memorize. Now what do I mean by do not memorize? A lot of people, they find new words through word lists, through dictionaries, maybe through some kind of books, and what they do is they try to memorize it directly. For example, you take a word and then you try to speak the word in your mind 100 times, maybe write it down 10 times, and that's it. That's it. And you're trying to memorize it so much that yeah, you're able to speak it, you're able to remember it. For example, beautification. Let's take this word. So a person will speak it 100 times, write it in the notebook in order to learn it, memorize it. But tell me one thing, what good would this memorization do when you're going to speak it if you don't understand how to use the word? So memorizing is not the answer. The answer is the context, understanding the word. And then where would the mnemonics go? Because mnemonics, they are a pattern of memorization, people say. And I even told you in my recent video about mnemonics technique, basically a lot of mnemonic techniques. Now, how to apply them? Do not worry, I'm going to tell you everything. So step number one is that do not memorize. Do not just take few sets of words, then try to remember them, write them down, maybe just write them and their meaning continuously, just look at them, read them and their meaning continuously in order to memorize them. Now for an exam maybe that you're attempting, an MCQ, or maybe some kind of written exam that is based on vocabulary, just word meanings, this might work. But when it comes to use that particular word in your written English, spoken English, and maybe in any comprehension, you will not be able to use it. Because you have not even understood the meaning completely, and you have not understood how to use it with context. Now here comes the step number two, that is try to understand the word with context. Okay, you have to learn the word with its context. Now what is the context? Context is the way you're using a word in a particular sentence, the way you use a word in a particular situation. So you have to understand the context. For example, let's take the word beautification, like I mentioned earlier. So this is not beautiful. This is not an adjective. Beautification is basically the process of enhancing anything that is already there. For example, if you're making your room more beautiful, that's beautification. Take the word marvelous. So marvelous is considered a synonym of very good, but marvelous is also considered a synonym of sometimes beautiful. But you cannot say a person is beautiful and marvelous in the same manner. Marvelous is something that you've done. Marvelous can be how you do things or how you have done things. Marvelous can be a situation. So context always differs.